it's me, and today I'm here with my fourth and last quarterly book haul of this year. So these are all the books I got in the months of October, November and December. There's quite a stack of them, which I wasn't expecting, but also I've read a couple of them already, so that's also great. So just gonna keep this into a short and just talk about these books. First off, we have the October stack, starting off with From Blood and Ash, which I have Untitled, which I read earlier this month and I really liked. This is also the Dutch limited edition. That means it has sprayed edges and it has fan art in the front and in the back. And basically in this one we follow Poppy, who is a maiden, which means she can't do a whole lot, and we follow Hawk, who's her guard, and it's a fantasy romance. And the official synopsis is a bit more complicated before book haul. I want to keep it simple. And yeah, I quite like this. I read this for a reading vlog, which is a romance reading vlog, but I believe I also talked about it in my month wrap up. So if you want to know my full thoughts on it, you can. And I'm excited to check out the sequel once it come out in Dutch, probably. We'll see. And yeah, I do have to say, my hair matches with this book, which I appreciate. Then other books I got in the month of October were The Lucky List by Rachel Lippincott. Basically, Rachel Lippincott co-wrote 5 Feet Apart, which is a very popular book because of the movie, and she also co-wrote another book with that author, and then she wrote this solo, and then she's coming out with a book with her wife next year, which I'm super excited about. And I've seen a lot of hype for on TikTok from them, just from them promoting it on their TikTok account. In the meantime, this came out and I am quite excited for it. I feel like it follows a character following a list, I think. I'm not entirely sure about the synopsis, so I quite like that trope in books, so I think that will work out well. And yeah, just an author I'm really excited to read. Mainly the next release, but this release is also high up on there. There's a couple of books on here that are gonna be TikTok made me buy it, so be aware of that. Then before we go on TikTok made me buy it, BookTube made me buy it, Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Elston. This is a middle grade novel, and that's all I know about it. It's fantasy, and everyone who reads it loves it. I generally haven't seen a single negative review of this book, and I've seen many reviews of this book. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a read. It also has a bookmark in it, which honestly more books need this. Just saying, because it's so helpful. I always lose my bookmark. If all books would just come with one, that would be so incredibly nice. I don't have a lot to say about these books. Then next we have Harlem Shuffle by Coulson Whitehead. I have been interested in a couple of his books, but I recently bought The Nickel Boys as well secondhand, and I low-key promised to myself to read that first before getting into anything else, but then I bought his latest release, so I don't listen to myself. Then we have an author I have read something from, and that's Neil Gaiman. This is Norse Gods. Basically just his retelling of a bunch of different Norse mythology. It's called Norse mythology. The Dutch edition is just called Norse Gods. Yeah, it's called Norse mythology. So it's a short book of him going over Norse mythology. And then also a book I've heard amazing things about is Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This only recently got published in Dutch, so that's why I picked it up. Scythe is a dystopian/utopian story about a world in which no one can die of natural causes, so they need to be killed, and we follow 2 characters who are in training to be one of these people, a scythe, which is basically someone who murders people to restore the balance in the world, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, I'm excited to give this a read. It's also very high on my TBR for 2022. So those are all the books I got in October. I'm sorry I'm speeding through these, but the thing is, synopses for books that I haven't read don't stick in my brain, so I don't really have a whole lot to say about any of these books. So let's go into my November book haul with 3 books I have a lot to say about, and that's Heartstopper Volume 2, 3, and 4. If you watch my last book haul, you know that they have started publishing these in Dutch. So I bought the first volume like that, and then I saw the other 3 in English in the bookstore, and I just got them instead of waiting for them to be released in Dutch. Heartstopper is a webcomic on Tapas, it's free. that follows Nick and Charlie, who basically like meet and fall in love, and it's very cute. And they're also being published in like bind up versions. These have like a bunch of extra content in them, so I'm really excited to give these like a reread and read these extra stories. Next up, we have An Emotion of Great Delight by Tara Mafi, which I just quickly want to point this out. I was looking to like the copyright page to get like the official like English title, because I forgot. This is the Dutch edition, and it has like a little guide to like the Farsi words that are in this book on how to pronounce them, which I think is really cool. This is another contemporary novel from Tara Mafi. Well, could you call them contemporary? Because technically they're set in the past. It's only set in 2003 and follows a Muslim main character, which is obvious from the cover, obviously. And I really liked her other one, which is A Very Large Expanse of Sea, which is set in 2001, like right after the 9/11 attacks. I thought that was an amazing book, so I'm also really excited to check this one out. Then books I'm also really excited about. First off, you have Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I just realized I don't think I've ever heard that author name said out. I don't remember. Basically, what I've heard from this book is that it's like very, very funny, and that has made me really excited to pick it up. Also, the American cover just looks much prettier than this one, so I really like it, but I just pick up whatever I can. And yeah, I'm excited to give this a read. And then we also have some fantasy. First off, we have The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. Basically, this is about like cities that come to life in a way, and I've heard some amazing thoughts about, I've heard some amazing reviews about this book, and I have another N.K. Jemisin, like right there, the 5th season, which is her most popular book, I believe. I haven't read that yet. And here I am with, I believe this is the most recent fantasy release. I could be entirely wrong. And then we have Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This is Victoria Aveyard's most recent release, although the sequel is coming out in a couple of months, I believe. So, you know, I'm not that caught up as I want to. Have I finished the Red Queen series? No, I have not. Did I still buy this? Yes, I did. I love this format. Like, all our books are in this format. I love it so much. It's so floppy. It's fantastic. This is massive. I don't know a lot about it. Again, Victoria Aveyard talking about this book has popped up a lot on my TikTok For You page. So that's a big reason why I'm checking this out. Also this cover. And I've enjoyed Victoria Aveyard before. So, you know, at least I have a reason for picking up this book. Then you have all the books I got this past month, which, except one book, these are all authors I've read before, so that's a good thing. Starting off with You'll Be the Death of Me by Mcmanus, which is a YA mystery book. I read like Mcmanus' backlist a couple of months ago, and this is her more recent release. It was released at the end of November, and I'm really excited about this. I don't know what it's about though. I'm just picking it up because it's Mcmanus. Then we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gone, which is the only book by an author I haven't read from before, but again, as a TikTok made me buy it, as Chloe Gone has appeared on my TikTok For You page non-stop talking about this book and like the one she's coming out with next year. So I'm excited. I know it's a dark Romeo and Juliet retelling that takes place in the 1920s in Shanghai. So I am incredibly excited for this book because, again, I've heard nothing but amazing reviews of this, even besides just Chloe Gone popping up on my For You page constantly. Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. This is his, I think this is middle grade as well, not YA, because he's also written a couple of YA books. I believe this is middle grade. It's his first book that doesn't take place on like the Riordan prize. So I'm really excited to give this a read. I believe it's 8,000 Miles Under the Sea. That could be wrong. It hasn't leaks. I don't remember what the original is called, but this is a retelling of that. And then lastly, we have Gilded by Marissa Meyer, which is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I have loved a lot of Marissa Meyer's work before. Then I wasn't the biggest fan of like the Renegades trilogy, which I did a whole series discussion on, so you can go check that out. And then I didn't read Instant Karma because I've heard some mixed things about like the representation in that. So yeah, here we are with Gilded, Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I've read a Rumpelstiltskin retelling before, which was Spinning Silver by Norman Novick, which I didn't like. So I I'm hoping for all the best in this one. And then also we have two books, used books that I was gifted. It's the Kunstleiner and the Drawing of the Tree by Stephen King. These are the first two books in the Dark Tower series. And it's a series I've been meaning to start, like I've been interested in for a while. So I am excited to own these because like I've heard, even though I've heard mixed reviews on the series, I have heard from like people who finish it that it goes like very batshit crazy towards the end. It's like just the most random things happen, and you know I love that kind of shit. So I am excited to check these out. And yeah, that was my very quick book haul. I'm sorry. I know I sped through these books, but I generally don't have like a whole lot to say about them. But I am very excited about every single book here, so I'm hoping that these all get read pretty soon. But who knows, you know? And yeah, if you had any of these books, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of them, so I know which ones to prioritize. And definitely let me know in the comment section below as well what are some of the books you got most recently. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Good.